Well, teenage pregnancies are a leading cause of school dropouts, reportedly accounting for 25% of dropouts in sub-Saharan Africa. In Kenya, 2 out of every 10 girls between the ages of 15 and 19 are reported to be pregnant or have a child already. In the county of Kwale, an area with a high prevalence of teen pregnancy, parents are now putting their children on contraception in a desperate bid to keep them in school. The BBC's Mercy Juma reports.
Clara, not her real name, helps the nurse roll up the sleeve of her school uniform. She has just turned 13. She gave birth 6 weeks ago and has been brought to this clinic by her mom to get a family planning injection. In the same room, her baby also gets her scheduled 6 weeks immunization. It is a few minutes to lunch, and Clara, a candidate in this year's primary school national exams, will miss some of the afternoon classes. She needs to help her mother take the baby home, a 1.5 hours walking distance, before heading back to school.
So what happens after 3 months? Are you taking her back to the clinic or?
She will get another shot. She will use that method until she finishes school. At 11 a.m. I will be taking the baby to her in school so that she can breastfeed her.
Child and teenage pregnancies have become prevalent in parts of Kenya. The coastal area of Kwale is among the most affected, leading to high rates of school dropouts and a continuous cycle of poverty. So many parents put their children on contraceptives out of desperation.
Those who came for contraceptives last year, those who were teenagers, they were 271. And below 14, they were 29. Some come without their parents knowing, some are being accompanied by their parents, especially the mother.
Schools in this region are partnering with the local government to come up with different ways they can employ to keep more girls in school. I am in Tiribe Primary School, and here peer-led discussions are being used to offer sexual reproductive health education. Teachers and health officials say they do advocate for abstinence, but not all adhere to that. Therefore, in such forums, the pupils are taught about contraceptives and the various options available. A majority of the girls opt for Depo-Provera injections and pills.
Say no to sex.
Say no to sex. Because they are hormonal in nature, they have what you call return to fertility, especially the Depo injection. The return to fertility can take up to 2 years. Causes premature osteoporosis, causes bone wastage. Now, you don't want to start such in a 12, 11-year-old.
There is no sex education in the national curriculum in Kenya. Proposals to introduce this in schools nationwide have been criticized by political leaders and called immoral by some religious leaders. Meantime, many young people continue to operate in a space riddled with misinformation, myths and misconceptions. Mercy Juma, BBC News.
Joining us from Johannesburg is Clifford Odemegu, a researcher from the University of Witwatersrand. He's been looking into the role of young boys and men and what role they play in teenage pregnancies. Thank you very much for taking time to talk to us on the program. What were your findings in brief?
The finding of the study is that there is a total absence of involvement of young men and men generally in teen pregnancy prevention initiatives in South Africa, where we did our study. And our study, we therefore called that in order to address the issue of teen pregnancy that is common in most of our primary and secondary schools, there's important need to get to know what the men know about teenage pregnancy, what the young men know too, and why they engage in unsafe sexual behaviors.
Is sexual education or sex education a subject in schools in South Africa?
Yes, they are, but the point is that the emphasis tends to be more female focused. try to teach the female gender how to prevent teen pregnancy. But there's a total exclusion of young men and men generally. And the issue we are talking about is really to find out from these young teen mothers, who are the men responsible for this? And then secondly, how do we reach out to men to be able to be involved in activities that will help prevent teenage pregnancy?
So the question is how, and obviously you are a researcher in this area. How do you begin to cultivate that clarity in conversations between, especially the young girls and boys, on sexuality?
Well, we can't be hiding again our faces. We need to start from the homes. We need to involve religious organizations in schools. Exactly in schools, everything is taking place. But we need to start from home because the attitude of young men is really formed by the patriarchal system of African society. In as much as that system is disintegrating gradually, but the young men still believe that they have power over the female adolescents.
All right, Clifford Odimegu, thank you very much for taking time to talk to us on this very important subject. Thank you. This is Focus on Africa from BBC World News.